Here, there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's. Oh boy, let's see. Gotta fix this video here. I don't know why it's doing that. I get this problem sometimes with it, like it doesn't totally block it out. That's okay. That's plenty fine. All right, so today we're going to do some analysis on BTC and take a look at a couple alts. I just want to do some updating on our charts basically all together. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and, as always, take a look at our higher time frame analysis. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, so altogether, what is our high time frame plan? And that's to continue to range in this zone. Basically, you know, range low is expected here, range high is expected here. We can see that the range high was respected like damn near to the dollar. This is like really nice. So yeah, basically, you know, a move down here, back up towards range highs, back down, eventually break down towards this zone. While BTC ranges in this area, we're expecting alts to do some pumping, primarily ETH and associated assets with Ethereum especially, right? So ultimately what we're going to be looking for is a move down like this, sort of into this zone here. Generally speaking, that doesn't have to happen this week. It could happen this week. It doesn't have to. It can happen next week or even the week after. Altogether, I do think that this is the high, although I would not be surprised if we saw something like this, where we put in a high here, take a week to cool off, come back up, grab liquidity one more time, and then ultimately, you know, fade away. So, you know, when I'm looking at this, because there's all this talk of like, oh, everyone called the top, whatever. I don't think that that's the case. We could very well see a candle kind of do something like this, and then a wick up to here with a rejection candle that closes red. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like that, and then eventually, you know, slowly kind of fade away like this, come back up, and then dump, right? Something like that would make a lot of sense to me. So keeping that in mind for our high time frame analysis, right? BTC range, possible move to the upside here for continued ranging, and then a dump, especially looking down here. I will look for a long in this zone. And in the meanwhile, we're looking to long some alts, okay? So we'll go down to our lower time frame BTC. I just want to update our chart before we dive into it. I've been really looking forward to doing this update on the chart here because I want to see where everything kind of sits. I was looking for a back test potentially at the 618 here. We'll go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff. Get rid of that there. Okay. Pull this up. So we'll go ahead and update. Previous month level still stands. That's also a range high, so I don't really mess with that too much. The monthly open. Ah, very interesting. Monthly open acting as support. Also kind of the midline zone. Okay. Previous week, we'll go ahead and update that level. Previous week low, previous week high. Weekly open. Okay. Hmm. Let's look at our potential Monday range beginning to form. And this Monday range is still in development. I'm actually going to I want to have last week's Monday high and low on the chart. Because I think that they're going to be relevant. I think this Monday range is going to be pretty important. You can just see like last week's Monday low acting as resistance here. So this is our current Monday range. Of course, it's in development, so I'm not going to like place too much stock in that right now. I'm going to wait for the Monday candle to close. But I think altogether, you know, as we look at this, we can start to come up with a pretty simple trading plan here. If we go down to a previous, week, our previous week low here, we can start to see a couple things. I'll just go ahead and hide this just temporarily. But what we can actually, I want to bring that back. So what we're starting to see here really is a couple different things. We could look for a deviation of previous week low for a potential. I'm not going to do, by the way, I'm not going to do any longing on BTC, period. I'm done longing BTC at all. I'm only going to short BTC. That doesn't mean that there aren't long opportunities. So could we get this deviation play and long BTC? Absolutely. Am I going to take that long? No, I'm not, because of my high time frame plan. Now, this is a possibility if price reclaims last week's Monday low, we can look to range highs and potentially this 618, or you know, this general zone up here, last week's Monday high and the 618 as resistance. Right, so these are kind of our key levels, previous week low. If we lose range low completely, well then, you know, then we're talking about being somewhere in this zone here. If we start losing levels, I don't think that that's going to happen that fast. I don't think that we're going to just start turbo nuking. I really don't. I think BTC is just kind of going to chill for a while. I think it's going to like relax in here, maybe get a move up to here, maybe down here, whatever, and kind of just hang out in this zone. If we come up here, I'm 100% going to short. This is my current short position. It's pretty crazy short. I am going to look to short something like this, you know, if we get the move up to this zone. For sure. This is something I'm definitely going to be looking for. This is the only trade I want to take on BTC. Okay. I'm not going to be trading BTC at all. I'm in an amazing long, or I'm short, I'm sorry. I'm in an amazing short from up here that I plan to hold for weeks or months. I have no intention of closing it. I'm just going to use it as my short position, and I'm going to hedge long with ALTS. I'm only going to be longing ALTS. The only position that I'm looking to open on BTC at all is if it comes up here, I'm going to compound my short. That's it. Okay. The other one, if we don't get a move up first, is I will long, you know, somewhere down in here. I will look for a long position somewhere down in here. That's the only other position that I'm willing to take, is either a long somewhere down here, preferably the previous month low zone down here, and a short up here. That's it. I'm not going to trade anything in between here. It's not worth it to me. Okay. So I think that that's it for our analysis on BTC. I think that that's, you know, basically my plan all together. I don't have any in-depth analysis for ETH. It's not something I'm currently trading right now, although I kind of wish I was. You know, and this is something maybe I can look at and get us, you know, some kind of a, maybe do some kind of a market analysis update on. But I'm not going to do a fresh analysis on it right this minute with you guys on the live stream. Altogether, the thing to note that I've said many times is we had previous resistance, flip to support, channel being well respected. We're getting a move up. I'm expecting a move to range highs, and then especially up here to this primary resistance zone at some point in time. And this will all happen while BTC ranges. ETH will, get a nice move to the upside, and its associated alts will continue to follow. So yeah, I'm not positioned at all right now on Ethereum. Braun caught an incredible ETH long from down here. He literally caught it from the Pico bottom to the Pico top. It was pretty remarkable. And yeah, I'm just totally gonna. I'll do some analysis on this, and maybe we can get some positioning on it throughout the week. But I just want to talk about some other positions that I'm in. Bilbo made a really nice position call here. There's a couple different things that could be happening. And I decided to take the position myself. And he was basically looking at this as, a range, and these are range lows, and this is a deviation. This is a reclaim. Look to trade the deviation back to range highs. I took this position as well. I think it's a good call. One of two things could be happening here. Price is going to have to decide, is this the deviation or is this the deviation? If this is the deviation, then we're likely going to have continuation to the downside. If this is the deviation, then we want to see price reclaim and hold the value area low especially, and then we can see continuation to the upside. So I'm currently in that position right now. And yeah, I'll be looking for, that move to the upside, and that just looks, ultimately something like this. Well, we can just target range highs essentially, right? That's what this position would be looking like. Looking at AVAX, I've been in this position for a very long time. I've been in this position since Friday. This position has not been very good to me. And I've had, when price came up here, I was going to close it, and I don't, it was the weekend. I was busy doing other things. And obviously I wish that I did, because I could have closed it and waited for a potentially better entry in this position. But at this point, I've been in this position for so damn long. I'm going to let it ride. I'm just going to let it do its thing. I didn't get stopped out here. It missed me by like pennies. Great. I'm just going to leave it and let it go. I'm not going to deal with it. It's entirely possible, like what I could really see happening here is that we do get a move back down to this kind of a zone here, in which case it would stop me out. And then, yeah, then it would kind of look for that move to the upside. So I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on all this stuff. I'm using proper risk management. So if I get stopped on the move, it's really not a big deal. But yeah, it's just something that I'm going to keep an eye on there. I'm actually no longer in this long. I closed it entirely, so I'm just going to get rid of that. I don't have any new positioning on MATIC. Maybe that's something that we can look at in this upcoming week, but I'm just not overly interested right now in longing it. I'm a little bit more interested in ARB and OP when it comes to ETH beta plays. So OP, I called this one out in the Discord. I'm going to be looking for a long position down here. Whether we'll get that move to the downside is to be seen. If OP is going to get that move, I would suspect that ARB's probably going to be doing something similar maybe. So it's really tough to say, but we haven't really hit range lows yet. And that's something that I would like to see to like encourage me to long, would be to get a move down here. Sort of hold or fill this this fair value gap down to here. So, kind of in this zone, I'd be looking for some kind of a long position potentially if it does get that move to the downside. This is something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I'm not going to limit long. I want to see the reaction at the level first before I go and enter my position. Taking a look at Solana, I did long that today. It was pretty cool to see. I love it when this happens. My long entry got front ran right here with a really nice pump to the upside, and sure as shit, it came back and eventually revisited my entry. And I absolutely love it when that kind of a thing happens, when you get this pump up and people are probably FOMOing in here because they think that that's the bounce. And then, you know, that low ultimately gets taken out. And um, yeah, it's just a really nice kind of a thing. So for me, I'm just going to hide this because it's getting in my way. You know, what I'm looking for here is, I think that this was a really nice move up on Solana. Um, and it's clearly putting in some kind of like a sideways range, right? I mean, it's pretty clearly in a range here. What I would like to see is, obviously we're at the 618 as well as the value area low. I want to see the 618 zone hold. And then I want to see price reclaim this and make a move towards the point of control, and then eventually the value area high. I'll probably close the large majority of my long here at the value area high again and simply continue to trade the range. If it breaks up and has continuation, that's great. We did take a long position from here and rode it up to 100 right here. It was perfect, and I closed my whole position here, which is amazing because it was the Pico top and then it turbo nuked shortly thereafter. So it was like a perfect long and close the whole position. So yeah, I am currently long here. I'm going to be targeting those levels again. I just think that this was a really nice sort of market structure organic move to the upside. We've been putting in some kind of a range, you know, so I would really love to see sort of this zone hold as support as it's being retested, and, you know, eventually get that move back to the upside there. Let's see. The last coin that we're going to be looking at today is SEI. This has been a really interesting position for me as well. We longed it down here. I took some profits in here because it kept hesitating around this zone, but it's starting to lose this trend line here, which I'm not, you know, I'm not overly thrilled about, right? It's not necessarily a great sign for our long position. And it's continuing to reject from the point of control, and really I just want to see it run back up to all-time highs. If we go ahead and zoom out, you know, I think that we have some, I really do think that we have a you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm looking for a 5. So that's why I'm looking to sort of run this up to new all-time highs. I will take profit at the previous all-time high in case that there's a small deviation or an SFP. But altogether, you know, that's ultimately why I'm so bullish on it, or I have this perspective that we are going to be getting that move to the upside. My stops are at break even right now. If we were to revisit these levels and hold it as support, I would just simply look to long again, perhaps. But altogether, what I want to see is to reclaim this trend line and get a break up above the value area high to confirm that we're going to be getting that move back towards those all-time high zones. So that's my analysis on SEI, sort of what I'm expecting, you know, moving forward here. So those are all of the assets that I'm watching right now and all the ones that I'm positioned in. As far as BTC goes, again, I'm just simply, you know, to reiterate my previous plan, I'm not going to be taking any new positions on BTC, period, except for longing here and shorting here. And I'm only going to use BTC to inform my alt trades at this point. And like I said, this to me is a great compound. This is a good long, and I'm going to let BTC range. I'm not going to trade the range. I'm not going to trade anything between here or here, and I'm going to literally focus on longing alts. And that's it. For, you know, at least this week and possibly the coming week as well. And like I said, I'm just going to use BTC price action to inform my alt long trades. Okay. So I think that that's a great place to go ahead and stop our analysis. Oh, I'm just seeing that we have some comments here. Cold shower was money, Henry. It's great every day. I think it's like negative 10 degrees outside right now. So my water, if I let it run, my water is like 45 degrees cold. It's like cold, cold. So it feels remarkable. Um, yeah, 5 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's pretty damn cold. Nice move though. It's good to do that stuff. It's really, really, really good for you. CME gap. Let's see what CME gap you're talking about. If it's this one, that CME gap doesn't bother me. It's probably this one you're talking about. Yeah, so this CME gap down to about 39,500 fits in really well with my my target zone to long here. Potentially this daily naked point of control at 39,500 or as low as 37K. So yeah, that CME gap fits in with my analysis. It's something that I'm like vaguely aware of, but I'm not really concerned about it because I'm focusing on these levels, which has confluence with the gap. So, it's basically already something that I am thinking about. Okay. Let's see here. Why fair value gap from the 21st for OP? The question is, why do you look at the fair value gap from 21st December on OP? 21st of December. Are you talking about like this big one? Well, I mean, here's the deal. This fair value gap is right here, and it's holding a support. If price were to get a closure, like a significant closure, here it is. If it were to get a closure and acceptance into this fair value gap, I would say, okay, yeah, we should at the very least be looking for a move down to here. But because it's only wicked inside and it's holding a support, I don't really see any reason to like place any stock into seeing it being filled. Yeah, it's just like very beautifully holding a support. It's a really, really nice area of support right now. And until it gains acceptance back in here, I'm not going to look for something like a move down. I would have to literally see, something like this happen where it gets that move to the downs, where it gains acceptance back in, and then yeah, we can potentially look for it to be filled down to about $2.55. So yeah, until the fixed range volume profile from the 21st. Oh, like why am I looking at this? Or yeah, well, the reason I made this poll is because it's a range. Like if you're asking why I made this poll for this fixed range volume profile here, why am I looking at this? Because it's in a range. If we go ahead and hide this here and just look, it's like, okay, we had this really nice move up, but ever since here, it's really just put in this range here. So if I want to know where all the volume is on this range, well, I can say, at this price here, which is $3.44, the most amount of trading volume took place here. And, altogether, this is the value area, right? So the value area is really important in terms of range trading. So that's why I went ahead and drew that out. And it's a very important, sort of zone for me to be keeping an eye on, especially if price is going to be back testing or holding anything as support. Like if we go ahead and draw the 618 of this move here, we can see that the 618 falls in line with the point of control as well as the value area low. So I'd want to see kind of a move like this, hold the 618, and then have some kind of continuation to the upside, which is why I'm looking to long in that area, right? So I hope that answers your question. Profile information taken in range makes sense. I have been doing more time based like the last 2 weeks. Looking forward to the week. Yeah, no, we've been, everything's kind of in a range. And when you're ranging, the fixed range volume profile is super, super, super important to get an idea of where support and resistance is and where people are taking, actually taking trades. So yeah, it's all looking good. We had a really good trading week this week. I started a challenge profile and I've almost like 4 times the size of it this week. It's been insane. And I'm really looking forward to this week as well. I have a feeling that we're going to see something pretty magical happen with ALTS this week that we're all going to be very happy with, given our current long positions on some alt assets. So especially, you know, Sol. This is one that I'm pretty excited for here. Okay, cool. Well, I think that we'll go ahead and end it there. As always, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm really excited. U.S. markets are closed today, so don't put a whole lot of stock in whatever happens today with the move, especially on BTC or ETH. And markets will be back open tomorrow. So as always, thank you guys for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. And I'm really excited for this trading week. Keep an eye out on our trading channels in the Discord. We're going to be making a lot of calls this week. All right, we'll see you guys around. Thank you.